Hi everyone, I am presenting my Module 6 activity on scientific inquiry. And so for my activity, I came up with the light bulb energy efficiency activity. And on the left here, you see a handout that I created that would go along with the activity. We have a material list, we have an introduction that gives a little bit of background as to why we would do the experiment and give the students a little bit of information regarding energy and what makes our lights basically turn on, where that energy comes from. And then down at the bottom here I have some terms and concepts that I would have the students define. That could be a class discussion, or you could have them define these terms independently. And I thought that this would be a good preconception check to find out what knowledge they are bringing, what they already know about this topic. And so the activity incorporates many science concepts. It investigates the impacts of new technology on our everyday lives, and I feel that it's meaningful. And so we would be following the scientific inquiry process. The question to investigate is teacher developed, but the question is what type of light bulb is the most energy efficient? As far as conducting the investigation, you could have a class discussion to see if the class could determine a way to determine that, but I feel the procedure would primarily be teacher guided. We would be collecting data and analyzing and drawing conclusions on our observations. And so here's my son. I had him help me with the project. On the left here, you can see him with our materials, our 4 different types of bulbs: an incandescent bulb, a halogen bulb, an LED bulb, and a compact fluorescent bulb. On the right, he is recording some data. I had him record the wattage ratings on each bulb to see if there's any correlation with the wattage rating and the temperature findings that we would be collecting. Here's a breakdown of the procedure that I used. And then here we are recording the lux from each bulb, the level of brightness, and also recording the temperature from each bulb. Unfortunately, the infrared temperature sensor on the sensor tag does not work, so I planned on having the sensor tag a close distance from the bulb, and I felt that that would still give us fairly accurate results. And so here we are at the conclusion. My son wrote down the data that we collected, the amount of lux coming off the bulbs, the temperature coming off the bulbs, and after analyzing the data, he was able to deduct that the LED bulb is the most energy efficient, and that was because it doesn't get hot. So he was able to make the correlation that the amount of heat loss coming off of the bulbs correlated with the wattage consumption. It would consume more energy because it was dissipating a tremendous amount of heat. And so at the conclusion of this activity, I would have my students complete a writing prompt. I think that's a good way for them to communicate some of the concepts they have learned, and also do a little bit of reflection in how this information can be applied to their everyday lives. The level of inquiry, I feel this is a level 2 structured inquiry according to Banshee and Bell 2008, in which the students investigate a teacher-presented question through a prescribed procedure. Thank you very much for listening.